Welcome back. We're here. We're in game. I'm happy. You're happy. Kelly's even happier, as you heard by that. Fantastic. Woohoo! Yes, we're into game number 2. GranZero absolutely smashed it. Brand new record territory. 60 minutes, 21 seconds. That's the number to beat now. Tally's in shambles. His record that held up for 2.5 years, to be fair. It was back in Split 1 2022. That record's been beaten. And yeah, it almost feels poetic in a way. You were there to be the record, and now you've been here to witness the passing of the torch.
Oh, can I witness the undefeated split then? Can we finally see it?
Is GranZero going to try and... If GranZero beat that record as well, this might be the most cursed split for you to become a caster. Either way, level 1 action at the 1 minute mark. Bit of chip damage into wood on there to make sure that, hey, you're playing Rumble. It shouldn't just be an auto win. Same can be said then for KNG as they get a little bit aggressive to plant some deep vision to keep tabs as to where this brand may be.
Yeah, it's just very standard that you like walk in, ward the camp. You just want to know where everyone's going to start. More than likely, it's not going to spot him though. He's going to like clear his top 3 camps and just, you know, by the time that ward there, it should be expiring when he's relying on the chickens. He might even decide to skip chickens and go red first just so the award is dead by the time he gets to that camp.
So let's check in with some differences here. A few change-ups in the runes, in the summoners. The glaring one for me is that we've got a Conqueror brand. We'll touch on that in a second, but also with the AD carries, given that a lot of those summoners got changed up, cooldowns becoming longer and so on, Barrier now becomes the new default option. What do we make of both those points?
Yeah, I think Barrier is just the stronger AD carry defensive summoner now. Like, it got buffed a bit, the cooldown's lower, a bit stronger on the shield strength, and heal is it's nice, but it's very hard to use, you know, against that ignite. It's very timing based. You got to pop it early if you really want to get a lot of use out of it, and sometimes it's just not really what you want to do in the AD carry position. Barrier is just going to be a much nicer defensive summoner, but it is selfish though. That's the one thing I will say. That the nice thing about heal is you can use it on your support, because a lot of the time we experience your supports inting us and we got to heal them out of position, and that's the one benefit of that summoner.
That certainly is that one benefit, right? I'm sure people have had all their woes of like they've had the autofill support in their solo queue games and they just AFK in a brush. You're like, please man, poke, do something, work with me here as you're getting contested in all of that farm. Is there anything to touch on with this Conqueror brand? Is this some brand new tech or are we just out of the loop?
It's like Conqueror as a rune is just it's just better in much longer fights, and he's probably thinking like, you know, I'm bursting a Zac, he's very tanky, it's very easy to constantly stack on these tanks with like the dots ticking, you're gonna stay in combat. When he does proc it, it's not really going to like change how Brand works as a champion. Like, he's still just all about, you know, proccing spells, kiting, getting as many passive procs as he can. It's just all about like his burns will be a bit stronger because he has access to the extra bit of AP that he won't find from the you know, electrocute.
Well, I've just witnessed a travesty on 2 different occasions. I've just seen that Kurek somehow denied himself to a turret, and Tien is just smashing it here into the 1v1 matchup. Is he looking for the dive? He certainly is. Procs the ignite. I think he's gone away with it. Yes! He gets the first blood. Flash is matched. And first blood is found for GranZero.
Yeah, nice kill there by Thiem, but the one thing that happened there is he hookshots into the turret and he's holding the E2 to react to Wudong's flash, but what happened is that his precision protocol, the second proc, ran out when he went in because he waited a bit too long, and he wasn't able to find the execute straight away, so he gets to commit the flash to find the kill, and Wudong is able to trade back the 1-for-1.
Could have been better. Ooh. That's all right. They'll take what they get. Kurek says hello. Sovereign says goodbye. And that's just your most average League of Legends social interaction. So back to mid lane farming they go. Even on the top half of your screen right now, taking a scuttler, getting some vision, and looking to see where Fury may be. So he plants a ward, realizes that he's not there. Top half of the map does belong to them. Does that mean it's an invitation to look at these 2 top laners? Because Wudong has no TP. Tien actually held his, and with the Ignite being burnt prior, this is looking like a dicey situation. The Rumble has to deal with a red buff as well, so he's getting slowed. He's getting burnt, and the brand says, my fire is just a little bit hotter than yours. Back to the mid lane we go again. Fighter in trouble, forced to burn Flash, and he's okay.
Yeah, so one of the things about Zac on the new season with, like, you know, we see mid lane being a much wider lane is that it's very hard to gank from the bushes. The old Zac was doing hooker forward. I feel like Leona's just going to be a bit too aggressive if eventually to deal with, and, you know, like, kind of navigate this trade very well. But you do keep going. A bit of poking.
Yeah, they really just want to try and keep these AD carries as humble as they can, with vision still being there. It's like, well, fair enough, bet. I'll jump in, Zenith Blade, lock you down, force a flash, and off you run. Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. I've got that 90 caliber net. Flash a flash, lost the vision. Vendrick cannot answer back. He had the full shot, but all he can find is a minion. And that is definitely a feels bad man moment.
Yeah, that's just really unfortunate. I think this is the second time we've seen Kurek do that, where he flashes the perfect time, which, you know, cuts the vision and is unable to like find the follow-up kill for the 1-for-1. So it's Really well played by Kurak. I think this is what Leon is really strong at. The stat checking that happens from the champion is quite insane, and the ability to just, you know, win these 2v2s really easily. Nice to see from Ground Zero.
So, as the dust does settle, 5.5 minutes into this one, 2k gold lead for Ground Zero, 3 kills, 2-1. A fair bit of action to get us excited. You mentioned that mid lane should probably be the most passive of them all, given that it should be pushing, crashing, roaming, and looking, but that one little inclination for Refu to pop his head in there has certainly opened up the floodgate. Let's run it back here again. Classic Nautilus threading the needle.
Yeah, so we do see KNG are the one who want to initiate this trade. They feel like they're in a position where they need to trade because their wave state's in a not good position, but Ground Zero's bot lane just has access to such short cooldowns. You know, we already see Kurak, so he come back up, he's able to go back in on Gabe, and doesn't have access to the aftershock anymore, and he's just so squishy at this point, and it's just very easy to kill Balloons to pick up.
And this looks really, really bad, doesn't it? Perfect flash from Kurak, just denying it, making sure he's just a fragment out of range for Jin to take him down and make it a trade. Showcasing their class, their skill, and their ability to perform. Let's see what the response then will be. As to be expected for a brand, he'll look to try and prefer those Void Grubs as opposed to the Dragon. The AoE versus the single target. Much more preferential for him here. Level 6 advantage to be found by the Camille. Whether or not it gives him an invitation to try and go for yet another 1v1, we'll have to wait and see. The Equalizer now coming on to match. But 3 grubs picked up, and yeah, Ground Zero off to a flying start.
You have to see what is going to happen here for Ground Zero. They might look for the dive, but it's very hard to dive the Rumble when he has access to the Equalizer.
For it though, this time he will go for that guaranteed hook shot, and locks in place Woodon, who trims the wave with that Equalizer, but the damage has been done, and the kill has been found. They'll get a trade back, actually taking out the brand, not the Camille, as Limus is the focus. That slappy hands brings him together. The deadly flourish doesn't connect, but it simply does not matter. Refu picks up his first of the series.
Yeah, so we see Ground Zero go for the dive on the Rumble there, which is just really hard to execute because the Equalizer does so much damage, clears out the wave, which means you take tower aggro so early. Most abilities, you know, miss onto Woodon there, so he's able to get as much damage off before he dies, finds the 1-for-1. But looking into the mid lane fight, we see the power of Zac. Like, Zac's just going to come out of Fog of War, jump on you. It's very hard to deal with if you're a mobile champion, you know, don't have access to the flash, don't have access to the 90 caliber net. There's a reason why like Fido lost his flash in the early game. Zac's gank pressure is extremely high, and it's just going to get better as he gets more levels into that E.
Yes, certainly will. It's going to be enough to try and you know, force the opposition to show a little bit more restraint and respect in lane. You talked in game 1 about how aggressive Fido is during the laning phase, and the same could be said, no doubt, for Tien as well, being incredibly aggressive here, forcing Evelyn to go for the flash engage, but he must have just juggled aggro too much, holding it. And just tick down. Yeah,
pretty much as you say, like they go for the fight, but I think it's more important to look at this fight here. We see Linus no flash gets caught out by the slappy hands as Riku lands those, and it's just a very easy kill to pick up when Linus has no sums.
Easy to punish. The lack of mobility for Caitlyn when those important cooldowns, be it the caliber net as well as the flash, aren't up and available. Happy days then, as Ground Zero will get to continue their strong 2k lead, but KNG at least showing a lot more push in game 2. Let's see where Refu decides to poke his head into next. With level 6 of his own, he can play Bouncy Castle. Sees a massive wave crashing top. Decides against it in the end, which does open an invitation for Evelyn to do a bit of counter jungling and assessing whether Zac could be. And actually, they may just completely zone the bot lane of KNG away from this wave.
Yeah, I really like what I'm seeing from Evelyn. He's really abusing stacking waves. He's making sure that every time a crashing wave, you know, is landing on the turret, he's there to pressure them, make sure they're going to lose some farm. He doesn't really care about, like, getting a huge CS lead when he can make sure that his team is the one that's getting really far ahead. And that's, like, something you can do as a jungler. Make sure your laners are strong, because if your laners are strong, that means you're strong. You know, it's team game in the end.
I just know you had a fake smile on your face when you said that. No, it's all for me. I'm the carry. I'm the star of the show. Let's look at top lane as Tien once again takes a battle with the Rumble and says, Woodon, you've had your fun. You tried to go for the counter pick. You tried to really dominate me in the laning phase, but this is my bread and butter. Here's a comeuppance as we just watch it connect, and then Tien's like, cheers for the jungle gank. I'll take it from here.
Yeah, I think Woodon could have committed the flash and lived there, but he decided, you know, it's not worth it. I'm just going to ult the wave, make sure that even if I die, I'm going to get the resources, and there's no, like, access with Camille to get any of my turret plates, so it's a whatever death, honestly. He's still going to do the same job. He's picked up some gold in early game from, like, these trade kills. I do want to see Riku putting a lot more pressure into, like, the mid-bot side of the map and just leaving Woodon to his own devices, trying to play the 2v1 with the Equalizer as best he can, and, you know, snowballing on these lanes that are much more susceptible to the ganks.
Well, it seems to be that way, right? It feels like the damage has already been done by this point, so trying to go for a gank topside would only basically like reset the bounty on the character, right, to allow Tien to get even more fit at this point. 10 minutes in, he's the first to hit that big item breakpoint with a Trinity Fall. Says, flash to flash, deadly flourish, hook, damage done, and Limus Good night, unfortunately. Second kill going the way then for Refury. As the bot lane of KNG is just desperate for some income.
Yeah, okay. We're seeing Widow once again getting pressured here on the other side of the map. Doesn't have access to the equalizer this time, so I feel like it's going to be a very easy dive for them. Lima's just being a bit disrespectful there. You know, he's been in that scenario many times where like Nollis has that flash and he just didn't respect it. Falls down, and I think we're going to see the same thing happening to Wood on here.
Bit of patience here coming out from the ganking members of Grand Zero. Just waiting for that wave to crash in. Tien's pushed in now. Evelyn starts by getting the aggro on himself. Zenith Blade to kick it all off. And then the full combo soaked up by the Leona. This time, there will be no casualties. It is just a straight 3v1.
Yeah, I know a lot of people might be thinking, oh, as Limas does get caught without flash here, but
wait, whoa, what has just happened there? Vendrick, he's thinking, hey, why did we not win? Why are we losing this? I don't understand. Limas, you're meant to be a free pickup on this occasion, and Fido says, I'll flash in front of your face. I can get that kill. No chance for George in the jungle this time from the swing and do roundabouts in the jungle this time, as he is simply going to fall on down as the bouncy castle expires. Oh, the happy! Oh, he nearly got it with the happy hands. But it doesn't matter. He's only got globs to try and rely upon. The shock blast doesn't connect. The TP! What is he doing?
Wait.
He really wants this kill. It doesn't matter what he'll sacrifice for it. Yes, the Zac will go down. But the Jace has no mana. He has little HP left. And this is where we get to see the true power of the pull. Is Leona broken? Is she broken? Yes, she is. 4 levels down, doing the most damage. Here comes Fido.
Wow. Okay, honestly, really well played by Limas there to find the, you know, the EQ combo onto Vendrick and be able to trade that in that 2v1 scenario. I thought he was inking getting caught out there with no flash. That's really well played by him. That completely changes the dynamic of that bot play because they were completely outnumbered. They really should have fallen down here. As we do go into the replay here, I think it's a nice poke onto Limas. He's been in the scenario many times and like, he finds the damage onto Vendrick here, but it was so much. Through the barrier as well. I don't know if Caitlyn is balanced, but that was a bit too much damage. They really try to clean this up as best they can. You know, flashing forward to kill the support. Maybe a bit of an overextension by Fido here, trading 1-for-1, because I think that the gold going on to Jace is a bit scary. But, you know, honestly, good job by both teams, able to find kills in a scenario where it just was a bit messy.
It's a hard one to break down because it just does go on and on and on. Thank you very much to our observers, even production, saying, you know, we've seen enough. Let's just see what's happening in the game right now. And I can tell you what, it's pure destruction because either side is picking up a kill. Now, Curix surrounded by 3 members says, I am pretty strong, but maybe not strong enough to survive this. I'll flash to the wave. And I will survive this time. Dearie me, this game is certainly not going to be a 16-minute victory by any stretch of the imagination, but look, it's continuing the entertainment.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, continuing the entertainment. I think something to note is that we're seeing all these trade kills happening on the map, but the most important thing is that all this gold for Ground Zero is going towards the end, and there is no side laner that match this Camille right now in the game. So he's going to go to a side, get priority, be able to collapse because he's so accelerated. He might even be able to participate in the 5v5, so curious to see how he does want to play these fights. Doesn't have access to the ults here, but Sorin has no flash.
Sorin doesn't have any flash, and is he in trouble as a result of this one? Because the rest of KNG can assist if they leave bot lane to go up towards him. But Tien says, well, it might be too little too late by that point. Tech sweep is there, but it's not enough to get the kill done just yet. Refury and Gaben just going to look to walk away and link once up again with Vendrick. But Limas says, finally, I get the lane to myself. This is what I'm after. I have the range. I've got the 6 stacks of grubs. That mid lane turret is about to fall.
Yeah, a little tricky trap set up to like cut off the jungle path, but I'm pretty sure, you know, you can still sneak through the top there. But it's just something that Caitlyn can do. You know, you get the 5 points in the trap at level 13, you're able to set up that little wall.
Just play safe, Zac. Where does he go? You tell me, and I'll try and contest it, because this guy is getting collapsed on every single angle, and there is no get out of jail free card on this occasion. Now I think Grand Zero start to show a little bit of semblance of that mid to late game macro, right? The ability to say that's an important kill, cuts off the you know, the transition between mid and bot. They get 2 turrets for free as a result of that, and we can see, much to your point before, now 6-1 is Tien. He's the one with the most gold in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, he has 2 items ready on Camille at 14.5 minutes, which means he's very, very far ahead of the clock. It's just going to get even worse for KNG. I think we're going to see the game slow down a lot, though. We're seeing, like, the 5-man reset coming out of Ground Zero, so everyone's back on the same page. The volatility isn't there anymore. They're able to communicate about what they want to do. And, you know, whether that's an objective or a turret, we'll have to see, because I think that as a unit, it's very hard to contest these guys right now.
I did ask Tien during his interview if we're going to see any crazy montage-worthy plays. Maybe this is just the moment for that one. Even with the flash denied, that jump slingshot in by the Zac to start things off. With Tien actually going to get the kill in the 1v1 again onto Woodon. Nobody can match him in that side lane. But the curtain's being called. The kills are being found. The fourth and final missing Kurak, who's running across traps, trying to buy time and hope that Lims will back him up. But he's never entertaining that idea. 4 members far too strong. And why would you? Because the rest of the map is just straight winning for you.
Yeah, I lied, Skimmy. I caster cursed him. So what happened there was it's a very classic mistake of like you deploy on 3 lanes and you don't wait for the waves to crash. We don't see people farming under their turrets, and we walk in as 2. We try to get vision when we shouldn't. We get collapsed on by the enemy team who has more numbers, and we fall down. So this is just like a very classic like impatience error that happens. You see a lot in competitive play. Very easy to fix. Just make sure you're all on the same page. Make sure that you're always ticking the checkbook before you go forward for these proactive plays.
With nothing more there, certainly dragging Kanga all across the map as to where do we go, how do we respond, and what do we do? Because Woodon has not been able to hold a torch to this Camille all game long. Doesn't get any better anytime soon, and I honestly think if the Zac rocks up too, he takes that 1v2. It's a bit of a dire situation. If you're trying to target him, maybe you go elsewhere on the map, you look for the Akshan, he just hides in the shadows, waiting for that next wave to crash. And the chaos, the confusion, it all just ramps up. There is the Herald. And that is GroundZero saying we're not going to be satisfied with our 6k gold lead. We want more. Is there a solid flag coming out? Right, Keurig decides against it.
Yeah, I think Refugee definitely wanted that fight, but I assume the rest of his team recognized that Dian had already roamed to mid lane, so there's like, no, please, I do not want to fight this kill right now. He does have access to the TP though, so that's something they always need to keep in their mind. If they do want to go for these engages, Kindle's going to look for a TP. If they do decide to go in, it's always important to make sure you have something behind you to defend against the TP plane.
They jump on Eve when he says, nah, psych, I'm actually in the Herald. Drifts it beautifully into bot lane, getting hit the turret. Hits the wall. The Hulk one to turn to be quite fair, but either way, he's got himself out of a precarious situation, and they will continue to attack all 3 lanes at once.
Yeah, this is just the classic GroundZero that we keep seeing, like the 3-lane deploy. Have to see if Riku does fall down here. He's getting very low, has access to the passive though.
Does have access to the passive. Can they find the kills and can they get Keurig out? Yes, they can. He's safe for the meantime. Look at Tien! He drives on by, says, I'm going to jump out of this one. Double ultimates connect. There we go. The interaction between the Caitlyn and the Akshan. Triple for Limas. They're diving between turrets that are full HP, and Tien says, I'm not giving you my bounty today. I will stand on the equalizer. I need to get to a wave. I need to hit something. I need to use that Ravenous Hydra. Woodon. He's absolutely molding, but maybe not anymore. You can see the cheer from Vendrick. Ignite OP.
Yeah, Vendrick's very happy that we're finally able to take down the Terminator. Can't outplay the Ignite, unfortunately. That one is a point and click, so the end does fall down there. We get that bounty going over to Woodon. He is, 3-8, but he does have access to a lot of these shutdowns that he keeps finding on these teams constantly trying to punish him in the side lane, trying to overextend and kill him. So he does have access to some ability power. I think it's really important that as he is the pseudo sole AP champion, that he does have some gold, or else we can see a lot of armor stacking coming out of GroundZero, and it's very hard to deal with.
Very hard to deal with was this initial dive under that tier 2, right? So much damage coming on through, even the disrespect to say, yeah, the blobs are there, but we'll just actually target swap. We'll take out these 2, and when the Zachary spawns on a trap, he goes, and he'll be an easy picking thereafter. So, I mean, from the point of this game, where we've got triple lanes being pushed, GroundZero really are just having far too much fun.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of fun with this. I think something to note about how the Caitlyn functions in these fights as well is that these champs that rely on stasis struggle into Caitlyn a lot. It's very easy to drop a trap under a Rumble Zhonya's or a trap under the Zac passive respawn and find these really, really easy kills. We just see the engage going on to Limas here.
There we certainly do. He buffers it quite nicely there with that 90 caliber net. TP coming in, but it will be too little too late. It may just be. He's dead. Flash was followed by Refury to guarantee that kill would go in their way, but Vendrick gets locked in place by the Hextech ultimatum, and Tien as well as Fido are not letting him out of their side. The rest of the squad actually zoning away both Sovereign and Woodon, and then Refury's taking the long way back to base, but has enough mobility to run away.
Yeah, it's just another we're kind of forced to play aggressively here as Kanga. We need to find avenues to get back to the game. We see Limas alone on mid-wave, and they try to go for that engage, but there's just a double TP coming out of GroundZero there, which is just very hard to deal with. Both solo lanes are extremely strong. And if left alone, we saw what happened to Vendrick there, he's in a 1v3 and he still falls down to Camille.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. It is pretty rough at this point of the game. 10k gold lead now as we crest over to the 20-minute mark. Never any doubts, it would seem, based on just how strong this Camille has been, that we'd end up in this position. But it begs the question, what will Kanga do to try and respond back? Don't have the luxury, right, of a Jarvan and a Malphite to try and guarantee that potential one-shot, or at least that big wombo setup. And they're going to have to be completely reliant then on the Zac to get the job done, which, to be fair, we're talking about the game's playing tally, so I'm just continuing what we were talking about before. Look at that, good guy Tien. Give him the upvote, guys. Thumbs up in chat. We're happy there. Grand Zero showing fantastic sportsmanship as they allow Fury to reconnect and run away.
Skimmy, I'll play devil's advocate here. He faked the DC to get vision.
Don't say that.
He faked the DC to get vision, so but like, you know, they found him a bit too soon, so he wasn't able to get to the Baron. They had to throw the pause, and he got out of there.
I'll tell you what, if we're talking about conspiracy theories, we could go on and on and on, and I'll just wait for that competitive ruling post to go out in a few weeks' time. But either way, jokes aside, these are all jokes, guys, don't take it too literally. Jokes aside, we're back into action, and we'll get to see if they can try and target somebody else, because Fido just slingshots away to safety, does get hit by the Conan Call 1.
That's the flash.
Call 2, dodges the 3rd, and just escapes the 4th, but Fury, having found a wave now, does have the slappy hands. Gaben coming on through with that depth charge and a deadly flourish, which has to be respected. Hence he flashes, but the hook is superb. And the tether on the slingshot can't get him out to safety.
Yeah, that's just the strength of the amount of CC and chase that the KNG comp has. You know, Zax's going to constantly keep throwing E's. We get the deadly flourish coming out of Jin. Can't play the null assault, but you know, that's unfortunate. They had to lose so many resources to kill that one champion, because Ground Zero is still going to set up for the siege and be very happy against a team with no engage to punish them as they set up here.
They certainly are. We talk about those 3 lanes all being attacked at the very same time. Now it has to become 2, sadly. But Ground Zero aren't going to mind, because they know they have full control of this game. They've got the Baron buff, they've got the sieging squad to really bully Kanga out of defending. And it is very much going to be reliant on the likes of Woodon and Sovereign to try and find those big AoE blasts to trim these waves and perhaps find the target they are after. Linus has been locked in sight. The Snappy Hands once again finding success, but then they go in with a hook. They find only Kurak, but he turns it around because it's Leona, and that champion is broken. Tien jumps in and says, "Good night, sweet prince." Gets it done because it's a free item kill at 22 minutes. This is illegal. It's unheard of. And look at the Q damage. The Nautilus is gone. Never had a chance to survive. Double for the Camille, and I think we are looking at them ending the game now.
Yeah, most likely it's going to be the end here coming through from Ground Zero. Camille's very, very good at taking these turrets. It's also really nice to see that a meta that is so bot lane focused, we're still seeing, you know, Tien a very, very proficient carry play, you know, being enabled, playing the Camille as a blind pick and having such a strong performance this game.
Well, he certainly did. Really strong performance from start to finish there, as they'll dive inside the fountain to guarantee the ace, pad their stats, maybe just a little bit more, but the game is coming to a close. And the favourites, your reigning champions, back-to-back wins to kickstart their Split 2 campaign.
Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with what I've seen so far. I think Ground Zero had a very dominating performance in both games, and that's what we expected to see. But I also think that Kanga showed signs of life, which is all we asked for, really. I think it's very hard to, you know, come in with so many subs and roster swaps all the time and, you know, go up against one of the best teams in our league and have a strong performance. So it's good to see signs of life, and, you know, I hope they can really grow as a roster.
Well, that's exactly right. They've obviously come into this one with a different game plan to change out some of their plays, to figure out what their strongest 5-man could be. Same could then be said for Ground Zero, respecting the situation and saying, well, let's just give one of our subs a